Okay, Whit and William, yesterday when we chatted on the phone, you asked if I would read this book to you, and the name of the book is Winnie the Pooh and Tigger too. And you have something like it at home, but I said I would read you our book too, so I'm going to read that one to you now. One morning, Winnie the Pooh was on his way to visit his friend Piglet. Although Pooh's head was stuffed with fluff, he was a cheerful fellow. As he walked along through the woods, he was humming a song to himself. Pooh did not look where he was going, and all of a sudden someone bounced right into him. Pooh found himself flat on the ground. Tigger was sitting on his tummy. "Hello, Pooh," said Tigger. "It's a fine day for bouncing." Tigger helped Pooh get up. "Thank you, Tigger," said Pooh. "I was just thinking it's a fine day for going to visit Piglet." "I was on my way to see Rabbit," said Tigger, "but I will come along with you." And Tigger bounced away. Tigger bounced on ahead of Pooh. He bounced so fast and he bounced so far that he bounced right into Piglet. "Tigger," cried Piglet, "you scared me." "I'm sorry," said Tigger, and he helped Piglet get up. "Now I'm off to see Rabbit," said Tigger. "Why don't you and Pooh come with me?" Away he bounced again. Tigger bounced into Rabbit's garden. Rabbit was busy counting his carrots. Suddenly Tigger bounced on top of him. "Hello there, Rabbit," said Tigger. "Tigger, you're a pest," cried Rabbit. When Pooh and Piglet reached the garden, they helped Rabbit get to his feet. Rabbit was very angry at Tigger. "Why are you always so bouncy?" he cried. "Bouncing is what I do best," Tigger said, and he began to sing. The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. Their tops are made out of rubber, their bottoms are made out of springs. They're bouncy, trouncy, flouncy, pouncy, full of fun, fun, fun. But the most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. By the time Tigger bounced away, Rabbit's whole garden was ruined. Look at the vegetables are everywhere. Tigger bounced all the way through the garden. Later that day, Rabbit came up with a splendid idea for unbouncing Tigger. He told Pooh and Piglet about it. "We will take Tigger on a long explore and leave him in the woods," said Rabbit. "And when we go back to get him the next morning, Tigger will not be so bouncy." "That's a splendid idea," said Piglet. "What do you think, Pooh?" But Pooh was sitting in a cozy chair and he had fallen fast asleep. Piglet poked him. "Oh," said Pooh, "I think it's a splendid idea." The very next day, Rabbit and Pooh and Piglet and Tigger took to the woods. "When we come back to get Tigger tomorrow," said Rabbit, "the bounces will be all gone. He'll be a sad Tigger, a sorry Tigger, a Rabbit, I'm so glad to see you, Tigger." Tigger bounced farther and farther away. He did not know about Rabbit's idea to leave him in the woods. The three friends found a hollow log. "Quick," said Rabbit, "hide inside," and they climbed into the log. Tigger soon came back to look for his friends. "Hello," he called, but no one answered. Tigger stood on top of the log and he called to his friends again, "Hello," but they still did not answer. "They must be lost," thought Tigger, and he bounced away to find them. As soon as Tigger was out of sight, Rabbit, Pooh, and Piglet started to walk home. After a while, they came to a sand pit. "Something is wrong," said Piglet. "I'm sure we passed by here before." "Nonsense," said Rabbit. "Keep walking." Soon they came to the sand pit again. "I believe we're lost," said Pooh. "We've been looking for home, but we keep finding this sand pit. Maybe if we start looking for the sand pit, we'll find our way home." "I'm sure I know the way," said Rabbit. "You two wait here and I'll find it." Pooh and Piglet waited for Rabbit. They waited and waited and waited, but Rabbit did not come back. At last, Pooh took hold of Piglet's hand. "Let's follow my tummy," said Pooh. "Whenever I get hungry for honey, my tummy leads me home." And sure enough, Pooh's tummy found the way. And just as they came out of the woods and were heading home, Tigger bounced right into them. "Oh, Tigger," said Pooh, "Rabbit is lost in the woods." "Tiggers never get lost," said Tigger. "I'll go back to find him." And he bounced away. Meanwhile, Rabbit was left all alone in the darkest part of the woods. He was very, very lost. Every time he looked around, he thought he saw someone watching him. He heard all kinds of scary sounds. Peck, 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 peck. Croak. Hiss. Hoot. Chomp. And then Rabbit heard someone creeping in the bushes. "Help, Pooh! Help, Piglet!" he shouted. Suddenly, he was bounced to the ground. "Tigger!" Rabbit cried. "I'm so glad to see you." Tigger led Rabbit out of the woods. Poor Rabbit! His idea for unbouncing Tigger had not worked out very well at all. Bright and early the very next morning, Tigger went to Kanga's house. Kanga was busily sweeping the yard. "May I take little Roo for a walk with me?" asked Tigger. "Of course, dear," said Kanga. As Tigger bounced along, Roo rode on his back. "Can Tiggers climb trees?" asked Roo. "That's what Tiggers do best," said Tigger. "I will show you." Tigger found a tall tree and he bounced from branch to branch. He bounced up. "Ooh, Tigger!" squealed Roo. He bounced higher. "Ooh, Tigger!" Roo squealed again. He kept bouncing higher, and soon they were very near the top of the tree. When Tigger looked down, he was very scared. "How did this tree get so high?" he cried. "Isn't it fun?" said Roo. "No," said Tigger, "I forgot to tell you. Tigers can't climb down." "Hooray!" said Roo. "We'll stay up here forever." But just at that moment, Pooh and Piglet came by, and they happened to look up into the tree. "Piglet," whispered Pooh, "there's a jaguar." "Are jaguars fierce animals?" said Piglet. "I'm not really sure," said Pooh. "Let's walk a bit closer and see." When Pooh and Piglet reached the tree, they saw Tigger and Roo near the top. "Hello!" called Roo. "Tigger is stuck." "Don't worry, Tigger," said Pooh. "We will get Christopher Robin. He'll come and he will have a way to rescue you." Before long, sure enough, Christopher Robin appeared. He ran to the tree with Rabbit and Kanga. "I do hope Tigger has learned his lesson," said Rabbit. "Maybe he'll stop bouncing now." Christopher Robin took off his coat. He told everyone to hold on to a corner so that Roo could jump down into the coat. After Roo came tumbling down, Christopher Robin called up to Tigger. "Now it's your turn to jump, Tigger," he said. "Tiggers don't jump, they bounce," said Tigger. "But if I ever get down from here, I promise never to bounce again." "Did you hear that?" said Rabbit. "He promised to stop bouncing." Tigger closed his eyes and let go of the tree. Down, down, down he fell. Plop! He landed on the coat with such a thump that everyone fell backward. Tigger was happy to be down. He was so happy that he started to bounce. But Rabbit held up his hand. "No bouncing, Tigger," he said. "You promised never to bounce again." "That's right," said Tigger. "I did." Tigger began to walk away. Without his bounces, he was a very sad Tigger indeed. Roo watched his sad friend Tigger, and he said, I like the old bouncy Tigger best." "So do I, dear," said Kanga. "So do I," said Pooh and Piglet. Everyone looked at Rabbit. "Well," said Rabbit, "so do I guess." All of a sudden, Tigger came bouncing back. "Do you really mean it, Rabbit?" he said. "May I have my bounces back?" "Yes," said Rabbit, "I really mean it." "Hooray!" said Tigger, and off he bounced, happy to be his bouncy old self again. The end. That was a good story. Bye-bye.